Hey everyone, it is Beth with Flying by the Seat of My Plants, and it has been a hot minute since I have been on here. There's a lot going on. My mom and stepdad are moving. I have a craft fair coming up, and I put in my garden. So it's been a little crazy. But I thought, I'll give you an update on what's going on here. First of all, I want to say, because I don't think I've been on here since my plant sale. It was one of the best plant sales I've ever had. I had several friends helping me, including my son, who did quite a bit of selling for me at where he works. And that just pushed me over to the best plant sale I ever had. So anyhow, and I've seen people with their plants, my neighbors, and I've gone down and talked to them and looked at their plants. They're absolutely gorgeous. And I'm like, were these mine? And he goes, yes. So I'm really happy about that. My garden, however, it's doing good. I did get things in late. I think, just having so much other things going on. But anyhow, what we're looking at right now, this is bee balm. And this all came back from last year. I got some over here and over here. And in these boxes, I did some flowers. Lavender's in there. I put some dwarf sunflowers. And then in this tower, I have nasturtiums on top. I got some basil coming in. These are some of the seed petunias that I started. And I have some thyme and rosemary and some more petunias down here. And, so it's all starting to come in. And snapdragons, some more lavender. And this is the, let me think. Calendula. No, not calendula. Hang on. Okay, now that I had to go double check. Chamomile. I swear, as you get older, you become a little more forgetful on things. It takes a while for your brain to register. But anyhow, snapdragons here, absolutely gorgeous. And here's some more snapdragons that are coming back from the previous year. Actually, I think it's a couple years now. And these are my black-eyed Susans. And my beautiful, beautiful lilies. And they come back every year. And I bought the new, oh, that thing fell off there. I gotta fix it. Bought the new butterfly bush because the other one actually died. And these are coneflowers that I started from seed. I think this is the third year for them. And my fig tree. And some more coneflowers. And snapdragons that came back from last year. I have some peppers. And they're all looking pretty good. Here I got my bunching onions in, finally. Some eggplant right here. Got some sage back there. And I have to look these up to see what kind of flowers they are. I did not plant these, so I'm going to see what they are. My huge 5 or 6 year old sage plant. And I had a little place right there, so there's a tomato plant. I don't know what kind it is, but it's in there. And these are absolutely gorgeous, and I think that's what those are over there. I'm going to have to look them up. If anybody knows, leave a comment. And those I planted a couple years ago in here. And I never got to cleaning this one out. It might just go for the year like that. Okay, and now I have my raised beds, and I think I have planted in this bed, I don't know how many times. This is a year, the groundhog has not been in my yard. I have seen him in the back field, but I have had every other animal in my yard and in my garden. And I'll be explaining that as we go along. Here I think the squirrels and chipmunks were digging up seeds. So currently I'm not even sure what I have planted here because I've planted different things already. This I do believe is the butternut squash. And I did plant by seed zucchini. It was not coming up, so I went and bought a plant and stuck it in there. Here's one by seed. That's just growing very little. And then over here, this says kohlrabi, but that's not kohlrabi. Kajari. That's not kajari. I ended up planting little pumpkin seeds because the kajari never came up. And here's some more squash. And I'm actually getting some on there. And I did plant some seed cucumber, but I also bought some plants because I did get things in late, so I wanted a head start on things. And they're looking kind of rough. These are the burpless cucumbers, which I have never grown before. And I'm going to share something that I do have, and I sprayed these all last night, all the plants, in the evening, not in the bright sun. And here is some more cucumbers. And then I did plant my Market More 76 seeds. They are starting to come up. And then here is another little squash I bought just to fill in the space. And hopefully it does well. So they were kind of all looking a little sad at the greenhouse. So, and then I did some cherry tomatoes along this side and on this side. And here is another squash. Over here, I did put some, oh, that one's Queen of the Night. Here I did plant the scalloped squash, and so far I got 2. I don't know, they might have been dug up over here. Here's another squash plant. And the tomatoes, I got these in late, but they're doing okay. Here is a bunch of my Cubanelle peppers. And over here I got some more tomatoes. And then a friend of mine gave me a bunch of kohlrabi starts. I went up to Petiti's, kind of shocked at what they're doing, but anyhow, for one start, it was $4.99 for one. I don't know what they're thinking. Anyhow, I didn't buy them. And in the group, I did mention, what was going on with that, and I was looking for some starts. And my friend Al brought me up a whole bunch of them. And, I mean, for $4.99, you should get at least 6 starts, at least. Because it's only one plant. Once you pull it, it's done. Over here, I have planted corn several times. I could see little digging, but some of the corn has come up. So I got the chipmunks this year, and over here I have the onion bed, and that's looking good. And back here we have 3 baby deer, and 3 of the larger deers I think are the mamas. I don't know if they each had one or if somebody had twins. It's been spectacular with the deer. As far as, well, the one gave birth in my front yard. That was very cool. And then let's talk about this here. This is my in-ground for my tomato plants. And I'm going to go inside there. But yeah, here's the peppers doing really good. But I'm going to show you inside here what I'm doing. Okay, just a little hints for any new gardeners out there or seasoned gardeners. Things are going to get really busy for me in the next 1 to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, with moving, not me, but my mom and stepdad, and a craft fair that I'm doing, crafts that I'm working on, and gardening. So any chance I have, I've been coming out here and just going over when the weeds are like that tiny. And so far, you know, it's been kept under control. I want to do that because I don't want it to get out of control. So let's see how long that lasts. Hopefully the whole gardening season. Okay, so I got these in late, my tomato plants. I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago. So at this point, here is a pointer for new gardeners. You definitely want to trim. You know, I go at least 2 feet up from the dirt up, trim off all those leaves, all of them, because you have spores in the ground, and you know, when you water and that splashes up and hits the leaves, that promotes getting blight. So, you know, if you do that early, get that off of there, you can protect them. So I pretty much went around all the plants, and there's my helper, Abby, and I took off all the bottom leaves. I just got my tomato cages up, I think Friday. So today is, I don't know what the date is, I think it's the 19th or something. And I'm glad I did, but see, this is like a little maze in here with all, I got some stakes, I have some cages, and of course I have this that my cousin made me. And underneath there I got some zinnias, I think, Mexican sunflower, also I think sunflowers. Oh, maybe cosmos? Anyhow, the other morning, hang on, this thing is just acting weird on me, hang on. Well, maybe it's just the lighting. Okay, so the other morning, from my kitchen window, which is, you know, right over here, pouring myself a cup of coffee and looking out in my garden. And who's in my garden but one of the deer, just munching away on my tomato plants. And got that top one, but there are some suckers on here, so I'm hoping that those will grow into another tomato plant. Also topped off that one. I think only the 2. So what I did was, you know, for years they have not jumped in my garden. And I thought I solved that issue a long time ago, because years ago they did jump in my garden. And then we put up this little fence. So there was a couple feet in between the back fence and my garden fence. And from what I understand, they do not have depth perception. And then, of course, I put up all my tomato cages, and they never jumped in. This year, the one brave one has jumped in my yard now 3 times and has been munching. So I went ahead and got these tomato stakes that I had and just started running them across just to make it look like it's not easy to jump back into my garden. And so far, I have not seen her in my garden. So hopefully that works. The other thing, when I was tilling this year, I did notice some large tree roots. So I really am debating, plus I'm getting older, on putting, getting some more raised beds and putting all raised beds in here and covering this with a really good weed barrier. Something I really have to think about, because it's going to be a big investment to do that. You know, I don't know, unless I have somebody, I don't know. Anyhow, the tilling, I went, it seems like, I guess I wasn't going as deep the last couple years. Okay, so anyhow, the battery went. It's pretty much resolved, but anyhow, so I went ahead, and the last couple of years I haven't been tilling as deep, and I think that was part of my problem. I should have been going a lot deeper than what I was. I don't know. Anyhow, the tree roots, they're in my garden, so I got to figure that out for next year, what I want to do. So now I'm going to take you around the greenhouse. Well, actually, I'll take you by my butterfly garden. Okay, so this is part of the butterfly garden. I want to do that. Look at these beautiful snapdragons. They came up from last year. And I did plant some more milkweed starts. There's some milkweed here. Some more snapdragons. And milkweed. Mexican sunflowers. I got this at the garden center. Absolutely gorgeous. Some more milkweed. The black-eyed Susans. Oh, and look at that. I think it's the first bee I've seen this year. Finally. Irises are done. And then we have my black raspberries, which the robins are pretty much eating them before they even turn ripe. So I don't even know if I'm going to get any this year for myself, because they've been doing a number on them. So the robins, and the one day there was rabbits, little bunny rabbits, doing zoomies inside of my garden. So this year, the chipmunks, the deer, the squirrels, the birds. Anyhow, so here I have some zinnias in here, and lavender. I did plant some sunflowers. Here I got some more peppers. And another tomato plant that I stuck in there. And some thyme. Beautiful oregano. Here is the garlic. I missed the fall window, so I went to the garden center and got the elephant garlic. And it has on there, you know, planting in the spring as well. So I did plant in the spring. I don't think I'm going to get a harvest this year. I might just let it go, see what happens for next year. Abby, don't eat that. And then here's some more onions that I put in here. Ooh, and these are from Dixondale. Look how big those are. I love Dixondale. More peppers, I think I showed you. And here, you know, I've had the birds coming in here and whatever, eating seeds, so there's not as much as normal in here. Anyhow. Oh, then I have one more spot I'm going to show you. Okay, this is the green stalk. So I got strawberries in here, and I've had runners, which I've been, you know, moving to other places. I'm waiting for that one to root. And you leave this connected until the baby takes root. So I've had several now that have taken root. And then my friend Elle also gave me some. I don't know. Elle? Well, that is not a strawberry plant. I don't know what that is. It's got prickers on it. What in the world? I hope that's not what I got from Maria Gardens. I don't know what this is. But I'm going to be pulling that out. But I have to get gloves to do it. It's got prickers all over it. Huh. Do you think that's a raspberry? Interesting. Anyhow. And I threw a petunia in there. And then here's the other perennial coneflowers that I started a couple years ago. Absolutely gorgeous. Threw some seed in here. And some more seed over here. And those irises are done. I got to split some of those up. Okay, so I just did a video on this, but I don't know if it was on or not. Oh, yeah, okay, so it's recording now. So I went ahead and I bought this at work. I get a discount, so it was a good deal for me. It's a 5-gallon backpack sprayer. And I will only use fertilizer in this. Let me throw. Go get it. Abby wants to play. And I'm almost done. But I don't know if she's going to wait until I'm done. Can I have it? Please? Okay, so a friend at work then, we went in on this last year. There's the only place that around here, it's in Wellington, that it's available. So we got a bucket of this split between 3 people. So a third of this, it's like $35 for me. Then here is Epsom salt. So you add a tablespoon of this into 1 gallon water and a tablespoon of Epsom salt in 1 gallon. So last night I had put in 2 gallons, so 2 scoops of that, and not scoops, 2 tablespoons and 2 tablespoons into the water, and I sprayed everything. So, what, Abby? You want to play? Does Abby want to play? Huh? All right, all right. She loves fetch. Hang on a second. Okay, so anyhow, so I did spray everything, and so we'll see how that goes. And you spray about once every 2 weeks. I think I will water some of them at the base. My hanging basket, I did water, you know, just with the, I put it in some water and just watered some of the plants with that mixture. And anyhow, the garden's growing. The plant sale was awesome. And just a lot going on. So I apologize. I'm not on here a lot, but I just wanted to give some helpful hints. Because there are a lot of first-time gardeners out there. And, you know, make sure you trim up the bottom leaves off. Don't be shy about it. You know, wait until they get so tall, and then you cut up about 2 feet of the leaves off. And I cut all of them. And that is to help prevent the blight. It gives a nice airflow going through there. Abby. And the other is... Can you hand me the ball? Can you hand me the ball? Please? Abby. Can I have the ball? Please? Okay, so we threw the ball a few times. Now she doesn't want to play. I know what she does want, and I have to go to the store to get some more bully sticks. But anyhow, so I guess I just wanted to share that with you. You know, the spraying, you know, trimming those tomatoes. Really? No. 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 Okay, so Abby was going a little bit nuts, but anyhow, I wanted to share some of the things I'm working on for that craft fair. These are desk sitters, and the craft fair is going to be in Olmsted Falls next Sunday. I just love these. Anyhow, and I did quite a few of those. And then the other thing, you know, I work on are the terracotta pots. I did a couple things for the 4th of July. And let me go on the other side. Hang on. I did this thing. I think it's so cute. And it's a tin. So all of this will be for sale at that craft fair. I bagged up some stuff. My house is a complete nightmare. These are the ones that I got done so far. And then I have these terracotta pots I've been working on. And I will have these at the craft fair. And some more chicken. And these are all protected. You can actually plant in them. There's some care involved. You know, you don't want to soak these. But these are all done with rice paper or napkins and painting and different techniques. You know, I did the crackle on this. and that. So anyhow, if you're in the area, downtown Olmsted Falls, it's a little quaint little town there, and they are having, I think it was 52 vendors there, and typically, this is what they told me, anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 people come through there. They have food trucks, and all that fun stuff. So anyhow, excuse my messy little house, but it's crafting and whatever else that comes into my life. It's very busy right now. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I'll get on here again soon. I'll give you an update on how that spray is working, that fertilizer, and hopefully that deer does not jump in my yard anymore. And I'll just keep planting. I mean, I just keep throwing more seeds in. You know, the squirrels have been eating them, and whoever, whatever else. So, all right, I will talk to y'all later, and thank you so much for joining me. All right, bye.